Just weeks after Gavin Newsom's 2024 presidential campaign ended in absolute failure, Newsom has been put in the back seat by the Kamala Harris team. Coming up, we'll tell you about the humiliating role that he's now assigned and how we're going to hold him accountable for his failures in California. I'm Carl DeMaio, chairman of Reform California, and longtime viewers and listeners of this podcast know I have nothing but contempt for golden boy Gavin Newsom. Gruesome Newsom. This guy has done so much damage to California, and he has never earned a single job in his life. He is the golden boy. He's been anointed into all of his positions by a bunch of very powerful dark money players in politics. Aunt Nancy Pelosi, the Getty family, just to name a few. But Newsom and his ambitions blew up in his face, and I have to take a little bit of enjoyment from it. And I hope you do too, because when bad things happen to bad people, well, by golly, it's karma. So Newsom was angling to run for president. We told you that on this show back in April of 2022. Even before he had won his second term for governor, I said, this is not a gubernatorial campaign. He's running for president in 2024. Everyone knows that Biden is toast. We called it all the way back in 2022. And Newsom was running this shadow campaign. And he was maneuvering, and he thought he was just about to get there. But then when the final removal of Biden was going down, national Democrat operatives kind of took a beat, and they said, well, wait a minute. Maybe we can't replace the white, male, pale, stale, brain dead vegetable Biden with the white, pale, stale, and male, brain dead from a intellectual standpoint, Gavin Newsom. Wait, maybe we can't go with the white guy. We can't go with the straight guy. Okay, the male, the male guy. So they were having a lot of trouble trying to engineer how to pass over Kamala Harris. And believe me, the Obama team was trying to find any way to have an open convention because I think that they also did not prefer Kamala Harris. They kind of get the inside joke that she's as incapacitated as Biden. But Kamala Harris won out because she's a woman and she's of color. And so Newsom was just humiliated. He had to quickly bow out, exit. And now the media, the liberal media, to their credit, they're at least writing a couple stories on the new humiliating role that Gavin Newsom has been assigned. Here's a column from the LA Times from Mark Barabek. The Harris-Newsom competition is over, and it's clear who won. The governor doesn't seem happy. That's an understatement. So Newsom, this whole piece in the LA Times goes on to tell you about the back story machinations, the personality conflicts, where Newsom was given no role at the convention, and all he was given was the ability to make a motion to give the California delegates to Kamala Harris because it's her home state. They always let that state put the nominee over the top. And because he's the sitting governor, the highest ranking Democrat elected official, he therefore had that role. He came in, did it very briefly, and left. You notice he had no speaking role whatsoever other than from the convention floor. And it's kind of like if he had not shown up and done that, it would have been glaringly obvious that there was a rift. So he quickly ran away from the convention saying, oh, I'm too busy. I've got a school item with my kids. Really? This is a guy that's been, again, let's just face it. He's not been really present in his kid's life. He's been flying all around the country. Again, I don't want to get into his family matters. That's between him and his family. But this is not a guy who says, okay, I'll skip out on something because there's a family obligation. If he could promote his candidacy for something or his political fortunes, he would certainly do that, sadly. So he quickly snuck away from the DNC, and that was it. No other role. And so now he's taken a very low profile role. You haven't seen him out there campaigning for her as a surrogate. He's kind of dialed back all of his national ads that he was running. Remember when he was running ads in other states, political ads in Florida and Pennsylvania and Texas and all these other states on everything from, abortion to all the way over to gun control, all of these things. Nope, nothing. I guess he doesn't really care about those issues because, there's no race for him in this cycle and he wants to save his money for the next time. Yeah, I know. Isn't it wonderful when the hypocrisy, the stench of hypocrisy is so overwhelming? I mean, these guys don't actually care about the issues that they try to pimp and divide us with. They're only means to an end to distract you from real issues so that they can somehow put chum in the water and try to get some political support. So the LA Times also goes on to talk about the longtime rivalry between Harris and Newsom. And they call them competitive siblings is what they call them. Competitive siblings. Like siblings, the two have a history of happy times, hard feelings, jealousy, and mutual aid. Oh my goodness. And this is very true. They've been competitive before, and they've been trying to figure out, what are you running for? What am I running for? Are we going to butt heads? And in 2024, they certainly butted heads. But no one really covered this. Now, if these were two Republicans, this would be all, speculation, national news. They'd be covering it inside and out. But what's beautiful about this is the conclusion of this LA Times article. The Newsom-Harris competition is over, for now anyway, and it's clear who won. Harris. If Harris is elected in November, the checkmated governor's political ambitions will almost certainly be placed on hold for at least the next 4 years. But if she loses, it's not hard to imagine Newsom running as one of the many candidates in a crowded field. So that's where we are. Newsom's ambitions are not over. And that spells trouble for you and me and the rest of the country, because this guy is literally dangerous and he is absolutely a failure and his character is unbecoming. And so at Reform California, we actually have a project underway to campaign to expose Gavin Newsom. Oh, you didn't think that we were just going to let him quietly leave office after creating all of the problems that he's created. No. We want to make sure that we catalog his corruption, his failures while in office, and hold him accountable so he never can seek another office again. Period. End of story. Check out our campaign at reformcalifornia.org. Chip in a contribution, because we cannot do this sort of investigative watchdog work without your support, and bring stories to the public's attention. It also supports this daily podcast so that we can continue to give you unbiased news from a non-liberal perspective in California. Every day at 5 o'clock, this show posts, which reminds me, 84% of you are not subscribed to this show. It's free, so smash that subscription button, click that notification button so that every day when we offer a new episode, you'll get notified. One last story I want to point out, Newsom's scaled back surrogate role. This is in Politico. And it says, taking a back seat. For more than a year, Gavin Newsom was everywhere as a star surrogate for President Joe Biden. Since Kamala Harris took over as nominee, you almost have to squint to see California's governor. Do you understand how humiliating this is for someone with a big ego and ambition like Gavin Newsom? It's so delicious. And so everybody's talking about this, about the fact that he's been ditched, shoved to the side, put in the back seat. Oh, I'll be out here in the waiting room, just waiting around, Kamala, in case you need me. Just call. I'm just a moment away. It's just so awesome. And so I just want us all to delight in the fact that, yes, his ambitions were derailed. And by someone who actually didn't earn it, someone who's very incapable, just as incapable as he is. The election is coming up. And remember, California politicians have put false and misleading titles on ballot measures on your November ballot. That's why Reform California offers our plain English voter guide to give you a plain English description of all the statewide measures. Plus, we will be giving you an alert on all tax increases that are on your ballots, because they're always hidden. the politicians hide these tax increases so you don't know what you're voting on. And then a lot of voters mistakenly raise their own taxes because they see a ballot title that seems good, but they don't know it's actually bad. It's going to cost them a lot of money. Our voter guide will be sent out the first day of October, which is several days before your ballot arrives in the mail. To get our voter guide, please go on the website, reformcalifornia.org, go to the bottom and sign up. First name, last name, email, phone, and zip code. It's as simple as that. We will text you and email you the voter guide for your area October 1st, which is several days before ballots arrive. But do this. Promise me, since we've done all this work to compile a plain English voter guide and sending it to you, please share it with all your friends. You are our word of mouth marketing team. You are the viral marketers of our movement. We don't have the money or the liberal media to compete with the left in California, but we do have you, and you can be part of a movement to share the voter guide when ballots hit. So please sign up on the internet at reformcalifornia.org to get the voter guide. We also post a number of links for voter help, including the voter guides. Again, they're not ready in early September. They're going to be ready in mid-September. The statewide ballot measures certainly are already up there, and we break them all down. Plus videos on ballot measures so that people who don't like to read information can just watch a quick short video. We do explainers on all the statewide ballot measures, all at reformcalifornia.org. So join the fight. Till next time, Carl DeMaio, Chairman of Reform California. Help us break through the censorship of the liberal media. Like this video, subscribe to this channel, and smash that notification button so you can stay up to date on all the developments in California news and politics. Also, please visit the website, reformcalifornia.org, for ongoing news coverage and to join one of our campaigns in the fight to take back our state. If you can, please sign up as a volunteer or chip in a contribution. This episode of Reform California with Carl DeMaio, paid for by Carl DeMaio for State Assembly 2024.